Well, greetings, Ceres Christian Church. The very first Sunday in March, I had a play date with my great-granddaughter, Layla. She was 3, almost 4 years old, and it was a beautiful day. The weather was pleasant and clear. We went for a bike ride in the park, and then we walked and picked flowers, and then we decided to go to the restaurant and get an ice cream. As we walked along, Layla held my hand and talked and talked. She told me about a girl in her daycare named Kara and how Kara was mean to her. Kara would hit her, Kara would take her toys and break them, and Kara never wanted to share and even said mean things to her and called her names. I just listened the entire walk. After we ordered, we sat at a table, and when the ice cream arrived, I decided to get into action. So I tried to explain the best way I could that maybe Kara just needed a friend. I suggested Layla that if she was extra nice to Kara, maybe Kara would be nice to her. Together we decided we'd choose a toy to give Kara on Monday as a gift. And Layla even decided to bring 2 dolls so she could share one of them with Layla on Monday. Our walk home ended with Layla giving me a hug and telling me she was going to be nice to Kara tomorrow. I left feeling I made a difference. I made a difference in Layla and hopefully as a result in Kara's life as well. I drove home feeling good. Sometimes we just need to feel that there's good in the world. You know, and for me personally, Layla's very special to me, and I want her to be the best person possible and learn that giving and loving is the path to being your best. A grandpa moment at its highest level. I didn't share with anyone our conversation. I just prayed that God would work in that. Now the following night is our traditional Monday night family dinner, and afterwards I decided to share my experience with Layla from the previous day. As they sat around the dinner table, they seemed quite interested as I shared how my conversation with Layla became quite grown up, and smiles grew as I share how Layla resolved to treat Kara better. And then there was an awkward silence, which honestly concerned me. Finally breaking the silence, Nisha, Layla's mom, explained with compassion that Kara was an imaginary friend of Layla's that lived underneath her bed. You see, sometimes we think an event has great value. Sometimes we even think we're part of something with great value. Sometimes we think we are making a difference. And sometimes we are sure we are being used by God. And well, sometimes we're not so sure we're being used by God. Oh, but I wouldn't trade that afternoon and that experience for anything. That day will stick with me forever. There was a sweet emotion tied to that day. There was a love and joy woven throughout the conversation with Layla. I felt heard, loved, connected, and even thought I may be grooming a future leader. You know, life doesn't always go the way we expect it to. You pray with faith, but God doesn't do what you ask. You seek Him, don't feel His presence. You know, James 1:5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. I just want to encourage all of you today, just always run to God. When it seems confusing, when it doesn't make sense, when you think you're doing everything you can and you're doing it all the best and you're doing it properly and you don't get the end result, don't become frustrated. Don't become discouraged. Instead, run to a God that loves you, seek His wisdom, and keep on going. You know, I believe God has some amazing plans for Ceres Christian Church in their future, and I believe God is going to use this pandemic that we're in the middle of right now for His glory, to magnify His church, His people, and His kingdom. And we're going to get to be part of it. So God bless you. Have a great day.